You're listening to Men of Abundance, episode 173. Today is Pay It Forward, Aloha Friday. And today we're talking a little bit about corporate greed and our responsibility to our community and society.
Welcome to Men of Abundance, the podcast for those looking to level up their lives by hanging out with some of the greatest leaders and established professionals in our community, living a life of integrity, honor, and the abundance mentality. Prepare to pay it forward with your host, former Army medic turned lifestyle entrepreneur, Wally Carmichael.
Aloha, Men of Abundance. I am Wally Carmichael, your founder and host of the Men of Abundance podcast. We had one hell of a week. Started out the week with the show and a conversation with my coach, Mark Mawini, who is helping me build a coaching business around my abilities, my skills, my experience that I bring to men who choose to work with me and receive coaching from me in living a life of true abundance in family, faith, finances, and fitness. And I'm truly enjoying the process of putting this whole thing together, working with a coach, again, because I love having a coach in my life, just because it makes everything so much easier. It's easier to learn off of somebody else's experiences and try to defer some of the mistakes that many of us can make while we're trying to work by ourselves. And I know many of you out there are trying to do whatever it is you want to do in your relationship, in your job, get a pay raise, whatever it is that you're doing, you're out there trying to do it by yourself. And I'm just telling you guys, find a coach, find somebody who can help you in that area, find somebody you resonate with. And I already mentioned many different coaches that you can work with that I personally know that I could even make a connection with you if you feel that I'm not the person that you want to work with. And guys, listen, it really does not hurt my feelings whatsoever. I am busy enough. And I can't possibly coach every single person. In fact, some of the applications that come through at menofabundance.com/coach or coaching, I think it is. I don't know which one it is, but just click on the coaching tab at the top of menofabundance.com to see what I'm talking about. But I get the applications in there, and I can't possibly talk to everybody, and I certainly cannot coach everybody. So I will refer you to a coach who I think might be a better fit for you. And then yesterday, we had a conversation with Darren O'Lean. Man, I'm telling you what, I said it so many times during the episode as I re-listened to it, that it's been almost 8 years since I've been introduced to Darren. And the guy is just unbelievable when it comes to physical health and fitness and mental health. I mean, he's out there working out with guys like Laird Hamilton, big wave surfer, and just doing amazing, amazing things. And he shared a very strong kick in the gut moment that many guys I really feel can relate to. And then we talked about nutrition. We talked about that mask that people wear. And I just never really, I've worked out at altitude, as I said in the conversation. And I worked out I worked in Bolivia for almost 4 months. And I know and I've tried on one of those masks, and it just doesn't, it's not, They try to sell it like you're working out at altitude. Anyway, we have that conversation over there. Go check that out because he talks about a technique that he uses when he works out to increase his oxygenation or improve his oxygenation while he's working out. Pretty cool conversation. So today we're talking about our responsibility to our communities, our local communities, and society as a whole. And what brought this up was this article that I found on LinkedIn that I was tagged on, and the title is BlackRock's Message: Contribute to Society or Risk Losing Our Support. Now, this Laurence D. Fink, he's the founder and chief executive of the investment firm called BlackRock. And this company, investment firm, they invest in all of these huge, huge corporations out there. His firm manages more than $6 trillion in investments through 401k plans, exchange trading, funds, and mutual funds, making it the largest investor in the world. And he has an outsized influence on whether directors are voted on and off boards. Dude, that is huge, man. And so what he's doing is he's basically told all of these corporations that he is investing in to either start contributing to society or lose the investment. And for those individuals to lose their spot on the board. That is huge. I mean, this is coming from a guy who truly has this influence and basically is fed up. Now, I'm not going to read through this entire article. I'm just going to touch on a couple of key points here because I'm going to have the link in the show notes at menofabundance.com/173. But just to give you an example, Mr. Fink sent a letter to all of these large corporations that his firm is invested in. This paragraph here states, Laurence D. Fink, founder and chief executive of the investment firm BlackRock, is going to inform business leaders that their companies need to do more than make profits. They need to contribute to society as well if they want to receive the support from BlackRock. Mr. Fink has the clout to make this kind of demand. His firm manages more than $6 trillion in investments, as I stated earlier. Society is demanding that companies, both public and private, serve a social purpose. To prosper over time, every company must not only deliver financial performance, but also show how it makes a positive contribution to society. That is a huge message in the face of corporate America, and I personally like what I'm seeing so far. Further down in the article, it talks a little bit about Apple's contributions and a particular company that is going after various companies and what other companies are doing, like Apple and many other companies. It kind of mentions some of them in this article. Again, I'm not going to read through it. I'm going to have it posted in the show notes at menofabundance.com/173. But this also got me thinking about our personal contributions to our community and society. We all have that responsibility, not just corporate America. All of us, every single one of us have a responsibility to our community, to our society, a positive contribution. And my question to you today is, what is your contribution? How are you contributing to your community and to society? Just something to think about. And again, guys, you can think about this. I say it all the time. It's kind of a circle here in that when you give and when you add value to other people, you improve your own well-being. You improve your own mindset. It happens. Think about it. Think about when you anonymously, have you ever not anonymously given something to somebody or even helped somebody on the street? You help somebody cross the street, or you help somebody, you pick up a piece of garbage on the ground and throw it in the garbage bin because it's right there. These little simple things. How did you feel when you did that? Think about it. Just sit back and think about it. How did you feel? It made you feel good. On top of doing something good for society, on top of doing something good for somebody else, you could say, I did it for selfish reasons. I did it because it made me feel good. Yeah, sure, it made them feel good too, and it helped in whatever way that the contribution was. Rather, you anonymously drop $20 on a homeless person's lap and walked away, which I do out here in Hawaii quite often. I'll go to KFC or something like that. I'll buy me a meal. I'll buy another meal. I'll keep the other meal in a bag. I'll put a 10 spot in there, maybe 20, and I'll go drop it off at one of the little tents where somebody's sleeping, and I'll just put it there. And sometimes they wake up and they say thank you and they go back to sleep, or sometimes they don't. But I just make sure it's there so that, it's kind of hidden so nobody will come over and take it. But yeah, and I do stuff like that. You can do things like that. It's very simple to do something like that. I don't know what they're going to do with that money. That's not my business. Some people say, well, Wally, if you give them money, they're going to go buy drugs. Not my business. That's up to them to do. I did my contribution. It was small, and did it make me feel good? Sure, absolutely it made me feel good. But at the same time, somehow, some way, it's helping society in that little tiny bit. And then, of course, we got guys that I've had conversations with in the past, like Timothy Sykes, who wrote a $1 million check to Pencils of Promise, which is an organization that builds schools in developing countries. But not only did he write the check, he also went out and helped build these schools in these various countries, which is an amazing thing. That's a much bigger contribution that most people, quite frankly, can't do at this point in time. But he gave a contribution based on what he could do, his time and his money and his talents for that matter. So I'm not judging. I'm just asking, what are you doing to contribute to your community and society as a whole? Now, before I sign off today, guys, and this is specifically for the men, if you're not a member of the Men of Abundance community on Facebook, go there today. Go to menofabundance.com and click on the Members Only tab up on top of the page to get access to that community. Today, I'm going to be posting here in just a few minutes a Facebook Live, as I do every single morning, pretty much every morning. I miss it once in a while. But this morning, in just a few minutes, I'm going to post a Facebook Live video of me talking about some of my favorite gifts and some of my favorite things to do for my wife, whether it's Valentine's Day or not. Now, you know Valentine's Day is coming up next week. My wife and I aren't really big. It's not one of our favorite holidays, but I always do something little for her. Of course, just because I enjoy doing that, but I do things like this for her throughout the year. And we do it for each other as well. So I'm going to share with you a few gift ideas that, quite frankly, my wife has said are the very best gifts that she's ever received from me. And they might help you out. And I'm going to give you some other ideas. And I'm sure other guys are going to comment on the video as well and share some of their ideas that will further give you even more ideas. And I hope you post yours as well. So go request access right now at menofabundance.com. Click on the Members Only tab at the top of the page. That's where you'll be able to get access to the Facebook group, and you will be able to get in on the conversation. Now, go out and live your life of abundance, and make sure to pay it forward.